Imagine making a million of anything. Could be cars, phone calls, pizzas, whatever. Now, what if I told you only 3 or 4 of them had even a single tiny flaw? That's the absolutely mind-boggling level of precision we're talking about with Six Sigma. It's this data-driven philosophy that's not just about small improvements. It's really a relentless quest for near perfection. The whole idea is to squeeze out every possible error to boost quality and, of course, slash costs. So the big question is, how does a company actually get there? I mean, when you're aiming for that kind of excellence, you pretty much hit a fork in the road. Do you spend your time fixing what's already broken? Or do you go all the way back to the drawing board and design something to be perfect right from the start? And that fork in the road, it represents 2 totally different ways of thinking. One path is all about improvement. You take an existing process and you refine it, you tweak it, you optimize it piece by piece. But the other path, well, that's about pure creation. It's about designing a brand new product or process built for quality from its very first blueprint.
Now, the good news is that Six Sigma doesn't just leave you guessing. It actually provides a specific roadmap for each of these journeys, and they're formalized into 2 really powerful data-driven frameworks.
Okay, so this is where those 2 paths really split, and it all comes down to the last 2 letters of each acronym. See, for existing processes, you use DMAIC. The goal there is to improve what you have and then control it. But, and this is key, if you're creating something entirely new, you use DMADV. And here, you design and you verify. That tiny change in letters, it represents a massive shift in mindset, from just tweaking the present to actually architecting the future.
So for the rest of this explainer, we're going to take that path of creation. We're going to dive deep into the DMADV framework, the blueprint for getting things right from the very, very beginning. And as you can see, this journey is a cycle. DMADV lays out 5 really clear phases: define, measure, analyze, design, and verify. You should think of it like a highly structured roadmap, where every single step is put there to make sure the final result isn't just new, but that it's precisely what the customer actually needs and wants. All right, let's walk through this journey together, starting with phase 1. First up is define. And honestly, this is the bedrock of the whole project. Before anyone builds a single thing, the team has to get laser focused on the purpose. What problem are we actually solving here? What does success look like in clear, measurable terms? And maybe most importantly, does this line up with what both the business and its customers really need? Everything, and I mean everything, starts with that crystal clear purpose. Okay, so with that clear purpose defined, we move into the measure phase. This is where the team just gets obsessed with data. Specifically, they're identifying what are called critical to quality factors, or CTQs. So if a customer says they want a fast website, this is the phase where that gets translated into a hard, measurable goal, like the page has to load in under 1.5 seconds. No ambiguity. All right, quick question for you. We're in a 5-step process for creating something new, right? And one of those steps is literally called design. So where do you think the brainstorming happens? Where all the different creative ideas and options are thrown around. It's got to be the design phase, right? Well, you're not going to believe this, but here is the twist that makes DMAD so unique. That creative free-for-all, the generation of all those different design alternatives, it actually happens in the analyze phase. It happens before the team even gets to the design step. Kind of wild, huh? So just think about what this means for a second. The analyze phase becomes this powerhouse of both creativity and critical thinking. By separating the brainstorming of many ideas from the execution of just one, the team can explore freely without getting locked into a single path too early. They generate options, they test them against the data, and only then do they choose the single best design to actually move forward with. And that finally brings us to the design phase itself. But this stage isn't about coming up with more ideas. Nope. It's about focused execution. The team takes that one winning concept that they chose during analysis, and they build the detailed blueprint for it. This is where prototypes are made, models are tested, and any potential flaws are systematically found and engineered right out of the system. So, the blueprint is drawn, the prototype has been tested, and the design looks solid on paper. But now it is time for the final and most important question. Is this thing actually going to work out there in the real world? And at last, we hit the verify phase. This is the ultimate reality check. The team runs pilot tests, they get the final sign-off from all the stakeholders, and they document every single lesson learned along the way. It's only after it's been proven to work that the new design gets handed off to become part of the day-to-day business. This makes sure all that hard work actually sticks. And that really gets to the heart of the whole DMADV philosophy, which leaves us with a final question to think about. Is it better to be an expert at fixing flaws or to be a master at designing them out right from the start? Well, the DMADV framework makes a really powerful case for the second option, for the incredible value of getting it right from the very beginning. Thanks for sticking with me on this one.